Well, that was one hell of a main event, huh? Um, I don't even know what to really say. I'm so lost in terms of what I'm trying to get out of my chest. Like, because I'm going to say a lot happened on Dynamite, most of which was just an absolute slog, like the whole FTR and Young Bucks thing, which I just don't care to see anymore. And I felt like Mina Shirakawa could have possibly won the TBS title, but it's fine. But of course, the talking point of the entire show was that phenomenal main event between Swerve Strickland and Kenny Omega. Two guys who I know can go out there and have a great match with pretty much anybody in the roster. Went out there and delivered possibly match of the year so far for 2026. Like, they absolutely killed it, man. But of course, the big selling point from this entire show was that Swerve Strickland turned heel. He attacked Kenny Omega after beating him with the big pressure and then hit him with a nasty vertebraker through the announce table. This is the Swerve Strickland I've been waiting to see for a long time, because obviously I know with him being quote as the most dangerous man in AEW, you would think that he would go to awful lengths to do that. And of course, we all know Swerve Strickland is a guy that can just pretty much break anybody easily and does a lot of insane shit to get what he wants. And I'm not saying as a babyface he wasn't dangerous. Of course, he absolutely was. He still kept a badass feel. It's just, I felt like parts of what he was doing, especially for his booking from when he lost the world title in 2024 to the entirety of 2025, was just very hit or miss. He dealt with a lot of the BS with the Death Riders, the Young Bucks, the Ops, Ricochet, oh God, dealt with the Don Callis family. He was injured for a while and he came back and he had to deal with the Ops again. It was just a lot of things went down that was kind of made Swerve Strickland's run and chance of being world champion kind of slim. But I feel like this heel turn not only was badly needed, but it can get him straight back to the world championship. Now, do I think that he has taken the title off MJF? No, I think it's going to be Will Ospreay. I think he's heading into All In and walking out world champion. But Swerve Strickland, I guarantee, can become world champion again. And I think that with what he did last night, now last night, because right now it's literally midnight, they're going to have a big feud with him and Kenny Omega, and they're going to absolutely kill it, not just in terms of match quality, storytelling, and everything, because of course, these two can deliver at every single bit of what you need to be successful in a wrestling company. I can't wait for it, and I know that I've been a guy that's constantly critiqued some of the things for AEW, especially last year, because the first half of 2025 and even bits of 2024 was just absolutely just bad and annoying, and it was just a slog to get through. But I will say 2026 so far has been off to a very solid slash good start, and I can't wait to see what they can do building up to Revolution. Well, except for Hangman and MJF. I don't really care much to see that match again, and Hangman adding a stipulation where if he loses, he can never challenge for world title again. First off, that's doing exactly what Cody Rhodes did, which led to him leaving the company. And secondly, I don't think that he's winning. I think MJF is just going to retain. But if MJF retains, what does Hangman do for the rest of his AEW career? Because, again, he named the stipulation he can never go after the world title. So, I think it's going to lead to a very awkward run, because one of the things that made a lot of fans turn on Cody Rhodes was the whole Codyverse thing, where he pretty much was trapped. Well, the wrestlers themselves were trapped into a little vortex with Cody Rhodes where they were competing against matches against him, and it did no justice for them, because he was never going after the world title, and he was just put in high program feuds that didn't elevate him or his opponent, because he's not fighting for the world title, so he's fighting for nothing. And it's the same with his opponent. They're fighting Cody Rhodes, but they get nothing because, again, he's not a contender for the world title. He's a contender for the TNT title, and he did a lot of damage with that championship, along with other guys like Sammy Guevara, Scorpio Sky, Wardlow, and the countless amount of other names that did a lot of damage to that title until Christian Cage held it. So I'm worried for what Hangman's probably going to do for the rest of his run if he does lose a Revolution, which I do think he is, they're going to give MJF his win back after he lost to Hangman at last year's Revolution. But overall, I can say it was a nice little and solid slash good episode of Dynamite. It had its mixtures of bad, mixtures of solid, but then mixtures of awesomeness with that amazing main event. So, yeah, that's all I gotta say, man.